Well, welcome to Cab Crew Wednesday on this August 26th of 2026. So it's 8/26/26. That's a weird number, huh? Let me say hello to everybody in the chat. Jim Tedesco's here. Hey, Jim, welcome. How you doing? Lynn McCurdy's here. Hey, Lynn, welcome. How you doing? Bill Hawk is here. Welcome, Bill. Glad to see you in here. Then we got Chris from Model Train Ponziano. Hey, Chris, welcome. How you doing? Then James. Oh, no, wait a minute. Yeah, James from Dundas Junction showed up. Hey, James, welcome. How you doing? How's things up north? And Chuck Shriver's here. Hey, Chuck, how you doing? Welcome. Then we got John from Schuylkill Valley River. Hey, John, welcome. How are you doing? How's things over in Pennsylvania? And then John Nippenberg is here, so we got two Johns. Hey, John, welcome. How you doing? See you in here. And we got two Johns here, and Dwight's here. Hey, Dwight, how you doing? Welcome. Get anywhere on your OBS camera for the sound yet? Guys can hear me okay, right? Great, glad to hear it. Thanks, John. John, perfect. No time? Okay, no worries. You'll get it figured out. So I don't know about you, but the weather in New Jersey was 83 for the high today. Right now it's 76 degrees. It was sunny all day. It was a beautiful day here. Not bad weather at all. I went out a couple times, check on things in the yard and stuff like that. This weekend I'm going to do a lot of yard work, so that's what's scheduled for the weekend. Yeah, about the same. Yeah, 95 down there, huh? Yeah, it's always hotter down there. You're in Texas, right, Chuck? So yeah, I was in Dallas and Houston, Austin, a couple places. Hey, JD, welcome. How you doing? Yeah, sunny up there too. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, South Texas. Yeah, never got down to the border of Texas, but I was close. Should have just went there. Drove through Texas a couple times, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, so I got my all my Miller Engineering billboards working except for one, and one I'm not happy with yet, and I can talk to him about it. I'm not sure. And see, what happens is with them, they have a circuit board that goes somewhere underneath the layout, or you put it on the side or something, and on it has an on and off switch, so you can turn the thing off or on, and then it has a button on it, and you can cycle through um, up to 40 some different combinations of how the sign blinks and on and off and all that sort of thing. So they got 40 different combinations in there. Well, as I was playing around with these billboards, I 3D printed a holder for those modules so I can mount them underneath the layout so they wouldn't be dangling down. Because they run current through there, and if you're underneath there and you hit one, you can get a little zap or something. Not much voltage, but still you get a zap. So one of them, when I put it back in, I guess I had it on the button and it was hitting the button. So now, hey Bob, welcome. How you doing? The sign then changed its colors and the way it's presenting. So I have to sit there and push the button and try to get it to one that I like, and I haven't had time really to mess around with that. So, but the Exxon or the Esso sign that I have for my gas station, it rotates 360 around and around and around. It's going real slow though. It's not rotating fast. And that thing's supposed to light up. And it didn't light up even after they sent it back to me. It still doesn't light up. So he's testing one, and then he's going to send it to me. Because maybe they didn't test it before they sent it and it was a bad one. I don't know. But it doesn't light up. Now, that post that goes into the base unit, the second time around, I pushed it all the way down in. I heard it click. So I know it was in real good. And it still didn't light. He thought maybe he wasn't making a good connection. And I told him that. And he said, okay, I'll send you another one. So he sent me out another one. I don't know when that's coming, but probably in another couple of days or something like that. And I'll take care of that. And the other one is the big boy sign. The big on the big boy is supposed to be red, and it's not as bright red as the boy is. I don't know why. Now that might be one of the combinations. So I keep on hitting the button and it doesn't change. I got to cycle it through 40 times to get it back to the original one. I wish there was just like a reset that you could reset it and it goes back to the default value. That would make it easier. But you're under the layout. You have to push the button, then you have to come back up and look at it. Then you have to go underneath there again and push the button. It's not close enough to drop it out, pull it out, and keep on hitting it while it's exposed and stuff like that. So I got to play around. Yeah. Yeah, like, family and friends and stuff like that, that's important. When they're over, you can't do a lot of things. You got to spend time with them anyway, so that's good. Yeah, listen, 2 weeks ago, my daughter left my two grandsons at my ex-wife's house because they had to go to a wrestling camp near where I live. But it's in the other town. It's across the river in the other town of Pennsylvania. And she couldn't take them, but she could pick them up. So I would go in the morning, early in the morning, and drive over to my ex-wife's house. And she was at work already, but they were still home. And I would pick them up, take them to wrestling camp. Then she would go pick them up on her way home from work and bring them home. So Thanks, Bob. Yeah. Yeah, that's that SVC, SV3C cameras. They're all, two of them are Wi-Fi cameras, and the other six are wired. And that's why they work as well as they do. I have Ethernet cable running from my communication cabinet behind me and through the closet that's behind me into the train room, and then boom, they go. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, a lot of food when you have guests. So that's the benefit of being the host. All the food stays with you, right? When I go to my daughter's house for Thanksgiving or something like that, then she always gives me a big plate to take home with me. So I have something. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with leftovers. I especially like Thanksgiving leftovers. Turkey, sweet potatoes, corn, mashed potatoes, green beans, filling, stuff like that. Heat it up the next day, and it's just as good as the first day. Oh, very nice. Yeah, as long as you have something to do too, that's good. So that's what's going on with the billboards, and I don't know, here on this view, uh, you can see here they're the fluorescent lights. They're produced by Miller Engineering. I got the one for the front of the station here, and then this platform. Last week I showed you these two up, but then these came after the show, and I hooked them up, and now they're all working and everything. So that's those. And the others, let me see. Maybe I can rotate this around. Let me see. Oh, yep, there it is. That's the SO sign. See how it's rotating? It says SO. I don't know if you can see it, but it does say SO on that sign. If it was lit up, you might be able to see it better. But that's another one I put in. And then I think if we go up a little bit, there's the big boy sign. That's the big boy there. There's a hamburger up there on the top that's lit up, and then that says big boy, and they're flickering and stuff. So yeah, it is, John. Yeah, I like it. I just wish it would light up. It'd be even better. But that's a big base. I had to cut a 3.5 inch hole in the layout through the foam and then through the plywood. Good thing I had a big hole saw. I cut that down through, and then that base fits through there, and it stays in there. And because there's a plate that goes on top of the base, and it's bigger than the hole, and it covers up the hole, and it keeps it from falling all the way through. So, but that was a big hole. So another sign there, and I have them all over the place. Yeah, Bob's big boy. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, so that's what that is. And so the other day, um, I had to update all my computers. And last week's fiasco, I took the time. Hey, Mike, welcome. How you doing? And I updated my desktop last week to get it out of the way when I was having all that trouble with StreamYard. So um, the other two machines I had to update. So I updated them, and they updated it. And they're a little faster. They don't have as many updates as my desktop machine does. So they updated, and laptop in there where I do my streaming from sometimes, that was working. Everything was fine. The mini, I brought up JMRI. It had all the panels on the screens on all the monitors, and everything was fine. And I went out. I had to do a little shopping. I got back, came back, no problem. Went in to have dinner. I sit down in the living room and watch a little TV when I do have dinner. And so I don't know what was the reason why I had to get up, and then I came into the train room. And as I'm walking into my office to check something, I had something printing. I wanted to check on the printer to see how it was doing. I walk into the train room, and I have a monitor on the table, and that's where the mini is. And then on the wall, there's a big flat. There's three flat screen monitors on the wall, and they all have JMRI panels on it. Well, the monitor on the table that I have for the JMRI computer, which is the mini screen, was the color green, sea green. The big screen TV was sea green. The other two monitors were blank. What the hell's going on? So I went behind the TV and or the monitor, and I have the mini. I designed a holder for the mini, and I put that. Hey, John Benicki, welcome. How you doing? Now we have three Johns in here tonight. Schuylkill Valley John, John Nippenberg, and John Benicki. Very good. So I went behind the monitor, and there's an on and off button on the mini. So I hit the off button, and nothing went off. So I felt the mini with my hand, and it was very hot. It was extremely hot. So I took the power cord and unplugged it from the mini and left it out for like 10-15 minutes. And then it cooled down. I had a small oscillating fan. It's about maybe, 15 inches tall and maybe 6 inches or 4 or 5 inches in diameter, and it blows out the air. So I took that fan, put it on the desk, and pointed it right at the mini, and had that blowing cool air across it all the time. And sometimes the fans in the computers just aren't enough. Hey, Andy, welcome. How you doing? So after about 15-20 minutes, and it cooled down, I plugged the computer back in, and it fired right up, came into Windows 11 like it was supposed to. I logged in, started up JMRI, and now it's working fine. I go in there every once in a while, check it. It's not hot because that fan is blowing on it. So it keeps it nice and cool. And I keep that room at around 75, 76 degrees whenever I can. And right now it's like 77 in there. And so, and when I put the air conditioner on in this room, it also helps the train room because it blows out into the train room too. So it cools this room down and it helps cool the train room down a little bit. And it helps facilitate those other two air conditioning units that I have in there that are running. So, uh, so that's what happened with the Mini. I go, oh no, I'm either going to buy another Mini, but then it was just something stupid. And I don't know how it got that hot. So maybe the fan inside the Mini stopped running. I don't know. So I'm not going to open it up and check it. I'm just going to, the fan that I put on the desk, just leave it there and let it run all the time. No big deal. So, because I had it on the floor in the train room before I put the air conditioning units in there, and I always blew air across the floor. And because a lot of times I'm laying on the floor working, and it's a little cooler that way. And Harley likes to lay in there because it's cooler with the fan blowing and stuff like that. So, but it was interesting. You never know what you're going to run into. So that took me, most of the morning or most of the evening with that computer to get it working again. Oh, Bob, yeah. Yeah, everybody's saying hello to each other. That's good. Okay. So, as you all know, my lights and everything automatically come on every night, and then they go off starting at 11 o'clock. They all cycle through down, and they all go off. Yeah, electronics is always fun. Yes. And is there another? Oh, uh, Brad from Willow Creek's here. Hey, Brad, welcome. How you doing? Is there Tom? Who's Thomas that came? Somebody else come in that I missed? Last one I saw was Andy. I just saw Willow Creek show up. Going back to the chat. Did I miss anybody? I don't think so. I try to keep my eye on the chat all the time just to see. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, that was enough of that. So, like I said, as you know, all the lights come on. And like anybody else, you look at things and you say, I don't like the way that looks. And I said, okay. So I did an inventory of all my buildings on my layout, which ones were lit up and which ones weren't lit up. And I don't know what Dwight's asking you're talking about. You have two minis, don't you, Dwight? So, um, so I decided to start making some of the lights are the Woodland Scenic Just Plug light system, and they have two different types of lights you can put in the buildings. One's a real small light, and the other one is one that you peel off and you put in, and it's pretty bright. And that's what I put in my train and my police station and firehouse in the lower level. You all saw that. What do you recommend the mini PC? Well, what I used the mini PC for is to replace a broken laptop, uh, and that runs my JMRI system. And it could be used for any kind of computer. It's just another computer, and it's only a real small footprint. It's only maybe 6 by 4 by 3, 3 high, 6 long, 4 wide, or something like that. It's real small. It's not very big. And but when I had a laptop on that table, and what happened was the monitor thing came out and everything. So I said, I don't want another laptop. They're too expensive. And minis weren't that expensive. I think I paid $200 for the mini. And it has 32 gig memory in it. And it has a large, I think a 1 terabyte hard drive in it. And I have plenty of room for JMRI. All I do is use it for JMRI. I don't browse the internet with it. I don't look at YouTube with it. I don't do any of that stuff with it. This is strictly for JMRI. But you could use it as a desktop computer and install whatever operating system you want on it. And I'm a Windows guy, so I use Windows. Yeah, that's yeah. See, that's right, Dwight. Uh, Laptops don't usually come with enough memory in it, and a lot of them just have like an odd memory, like 12 gig or 8 gig, uh, 4 gig. 16 gig is the most I've seen in a standard laptop. My laptop that I stream from in the computer room there has 32 gig in it because I ordered it with 32 gig. And then I can do mostly anything I want on that computer laptop in there. And my desktop computer here has 64 gig of memory in it, and it has a ton of disk space. So, and this is a desktop. This is a Dell desktop. It's sitting in a cradle under my desk. So, speaking of 3D printing, so anyway, I'm going to be putting 3 millimeter white lights in the buildings to brighten them up more, and we'll see how that goes. And like I said, a lot of them were connected to the just plug system. And if I just cut off the wire and put a 3 millimeter LED with I don't even think I need a resistor on it for the just plug system. I'll have to try it and see if it works or not. And then it'll work. And yeah, Godsmack of jerk order you can. Yeah, see, it all depends on what you get put in it. So, so like I said, speaking of 3D printers, the other day, Jim Tedesco sent me the file for those cabinets that he was making with the drawers in them and everything. And I got four of them done. They're right here. One's with gray doors, black doors, gray doors, black doors. And the only one that's not full, these here three are all, drawers are all full of stuff already. This one here I just finished today, and I got to start finding things to put in them and stuff. So the other day, I was printing the case for it, the one that has all the slots in it for all the drawers and everything. And I started it at 11 o'clock at night. And I figured when I wake up in the morning, it'll be finished. Got up, came into my office, and there was an error message on my screen. Ran out of filament. So the print finished at 3 o'clock in the morning. I got up at 7 o'clock in the morning. By the time I got in here, it was 7:30. So 3.5 hours later, the print is still sitting on the build plate. Okay. And I looked at the screen and it said it was at 77% complete. So I had another 23% to go. So I got to put a battery, update my batteries in my ring out the front door. So I go, oh, I'm out of white filament. I don't have any more white filament to just add it to the AMS unit. Oh, no, not me, Bob. I let them print, and I don't sit in here and watch the printers. I just put them on and then let them go. And then I come back in. I get an alert on my phone when the print's done. That's all I need to know. So anyway, so I said, okay, I have to order some more white filament to finish the print. So this is now 8:30 in the morning. I go on Amazon, and they had filament for $13.99, and they're in the plastic reels that you can take apart and put a refill in, which is great for that price. So, and it said today's delivery. You'll have it by 5 o'clock today if you order it within 2 hours. I said, okay, but you need to order $25 worth. So I ordered a roll, a spool of white and a spool of black. And that came out to $25 and some change. Yeah, it is. Very inexpensive. So, and it's Sunlu. That's the brand name. And that's what I use on my Bamboo Lab printers all the time. And I use Polymaker for the A1 or the Mini. So they said it'll be delivered by 5 o'clock on the same day I ordered it. Okay, great. So at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I get an email from Amazon saying that my filament was shipped. I said, great. And then I didn't get notification that it was 12 or 10 steps away. You know, you always get that message from Amazon when it's close to your house. They send you a message, we're 12 stops away from delivering your package. I didn't get that until like 6 o'clock in the evening. By 6:30, I had that filament delivered to my house. Same day. Yes, it is. So, now remember, the print has been sitting on my printer since 3:30 a.m. when it stopped, when it ran out of filament. It is now 6 o'clock, 6:30 in the evening. That's 12, 15 hours later. I put the filament in the AMS unit. I take the filament and put it on my cutter that I have. I 3D printed this cutter, and it fits right on top of the AMS unit. And you push down, and it has the cutting blade in there, and it puts the filament on an angle. And I put it in there, I hit it, cut it, put it in the PTF tube, and then it started feeding it in. I went to the printer screen, hit solution has been found, resume print, resume print. I held my breath for a few minutes while it was doing its thing, and it heated up the build plate again, and it heated up the nozzle, and it continued to print, and it printed it out just perfect. So if I would have just pushed that off the build plate or something like that, I would have never been able to continue the print. So on the Bamboo Labs printers, these are the only ones I can talk about because they're the only ones I have. If you run out of filament, don't, thanks, John. If you run out of filament, don't get nervous. You can always replace it with the same color, or if you only have one color printer. Some people don't have the AMS unit, so if you only have one color printer, you can change it with a different color if you don't care if it's mixed colors. Put that in, and it'll continue to print without any problem, as long as you don't touch the build plate. Don't touch it. Don't do nothing with the build plate. Don't touch it. Don't move it. Nothing. Just let it sit right where it is. Because I think it locks it in place. You can't move it anyway. And that's what you can do. Yeah, thanks, Bob. Yeah, see, and the Mini does the same thing too. Bamboo Labs, that's what they do. Now, I don't know about Reality. I don't have one, never used one. I don't know how they work. Because on the Viper, if you ran out of filament, that was the Anycubic filament printer, the Viper. Both Jim Tedesco and I had one of those kind of printers. And when a print ran out of filament on that, you could just add filament in, and it would continue to print the model. Ro from Models 3D. Yeah, love my Bamboo Labs. Yes, they're great printers. Good evening, Ro Pro. Nice to see you in here tonight. So that was pretty cool how that did that. So um, it was good news and stuff. So I have a few things that I received. I'm waiting for a few things to arrive. But one thing hasn't been shipped yet. Um, I got my. I'm going to make myself bigger right now. Now you can see the those cabinets. So I got my Dakota Buddy. This is version 1B, V1B of the Dakota Buddy. They have certain versions and certain models now that you can get. This handles the older LEDs, which are in a lot of engines when you convert them, so you don't have to change the LEDs out or put resistors on. So I got the Dakota Buddy. I got two of these. They both came in. Also from Nick's Trains, this is the Power Bridge 3, and it's a 0.05 farad. So that's the capacitors. And see that red thing inside the package? It's right there. That little red thing there, that's the control panel, and that's the current keeper. That's how big it is. So it can fit in a lot of engine types, switchers, and everything. And you can locate these capacitors separately. One here, one over there, you know, or on top of each other, or whatever. So these are GP15, so I got a little room in there, so I can mount them close by, just solder them together and to the wires and everything, and then solder these wires onto the Dakota Buddy. And on the back, it has the directions on how to connect these to the Dakota Buddy. And I then also got in, these are the 21-pin decoders that'll go on the Dakota Buddy. So these are the Tasami 2s. They're diesel EMD tubes. So they'll have the right sounds for the GP15s. I do not have one rattle can of paint here. All I have in a rattle can is that clear stuff that you spray on the decal paper after it comes off of an inkjet printer. And then that, you spray that on, and it puts a clear coat on it, stuff like that. Yeah, Destiny. Yeah, I have a big container of Destiny in the closet there. I use a Destiny for the containers that I keep my film in storage. Yeah, a lot of people use rattle cans. I'm not comfortable with rattle cans. I always get them to drip and stuff on the mop. I'd rather paint. I can control the paintbrush better than I can control a spray. The airbrush, I'll use the airbrush. If I got big pieces and I want to get them painted, I'll use the airbrush. I got the portable airbrush. That's for painting on a thing on the layout if I need to or something. Like I might be weathering the track, and I'll use the airbrush to do that sort of work, the portable airbrush. That's what I got that for. So that'll work. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, well, when you can print things in the right color that you want, then you don't have to paint. That's why I got the AMS unit. I can put 4 different colors in the AMS unit. And I also can put an external roll of filament on the A1. So I can have 5 rolls of filament available to me on the A1. I select, like, say, just like I was printing this cabinet up here, okay? The case, I made it white. Then I said, oh, I don't want the drawers to be white. I don't want them to just blend in like that. So I had black filament. So I'm going to make the drawers black for that one. And then I said, oh, I don't want them all black. I'll make the other drawers gray. So I made black and gray, and I put them like a checkerboard. Well, after sending it to somebody, but I never, all my models that I made, and I made a lot, and even the cars, the rolling stock cars that I made, box cars, and everything else. Yeah, 4 AMS units. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. I wouldn't have enough room in my office here for another AMS unit. I was thinking about getting an AMS unit for the Mini. I still might do that down the road. That'll be my second AMS unit. But my Mini, I'm having trouble with, I had a black polymaker film in there, and it won't print anything with that. So I got to find the right combination of filament for the Mini, and then I will use that brand and stuff. So I have to play around with that and start printing, because I like to print real small things. Yeah, room is definitely tight. Yeah, I could imagine. No, Dwight, they're not going to be warped when they get them off the printer. Dwight, he's talking about afterwards. They can warp. Um, if your layout is near a window and sunlight comes in, that could melt the filament. And I've had that happen. I had a window in my train room, and it was coming in on a layout, and I had these signs, and they only had a 1 millimeter thick pole holding up the sign, and the sign just bent over. The sun just melted it. It didn't melt the sign. The sign was thicker and a little bit better. It didn't deform the number sign, but the pole just went like that. So those were the few things that I received. And the only thing for that project I'm waiting for is for the scale sound system speakers. I ordered 2 GP15 speakers from them, and I'm still waiting to hear from them. It's been 6 days now. It's 5 to 7 days to ship it out. So I'm hoping by tomorrow or Friday, the latest, it gets put in the mail, and it'll be on its way. Then maybe next week I can get those 2 engines fixed and going. Well, they work now, but I don't know. Yeah, that's right. You put it in your car, you can guarantee it's going to melt. So uh, I was working on a building yesterday up on my 5th level. I figured I'm going to do them up there, the buildings and the lights. So I had a project of something I 3D printed. I 3D printed a building, and I had notes there to put people around the building and put lights in the building. Well, I had a light in the office, but I didn't have it in the warehouse building. So I made a light for that building. And that building had 4 garage doors there. And I had 4 box trucks backed up into it for unloading or loading or whatever they're doing, right? Hey, Russ, welcome. How you doing? And I picked them up by the box. Okay, they're separate pieces, the box and then the chassis of the cab and the chassis. And they're only box trucks. They're not long ones. They're short box trucks. I picked up the one, and the one was all deformed, and it was a resin print. And I don't know if I just put it up there saying nobody's going to see it anyway type of thing. So I took it, I got the model, put it up on Tinkercad so I could separate them. And because I was printing them on the resin printer, and that's why it came out that way. And I separated the box from the chassis part with the cab. And now I have a separate file for the box, and I can print new ones for those 4 cars up there, and they'll be better with the filament printer. I'm going to try printing them on the A1. So, matter of fact, I'll do that after the show since I'm done with the cases. So, I got in the mail. When I received the package, 2 packages in the mail. And I said, oh, good. So it came in with this label on it, this yellow label. You're not going to be able to see it. But what it says on the label is, return to sender, unclaimed, unable to forward, return to sender. So that's why it's so important to put your name and address on the package so they know how to return it. So I just put a regular stamp on this package and sent it out, because all I was sending was this little decoder to Soundtracks. And underneath this label is the Soundtracks address. And I looked it up on my system, and it's the right address. I don't know why they couldn't deliver it to that address. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to print out a trackable label and spend $4 to send it out and send it to them again. But when I got it, I thought, oh, they fixed it and they sent it back. Because I kept calling them about this. I said, we never got it. We never got it. We don't got it. We don't got nothing for you. We don't got nothing in our system. They're not working on it. They never received it. Well, now I know I didn't receive it because they could never deliver it. But at least I got it back. That was the important thing. I thought this thing was lost for good. But I got it. Now I can send it back and get it fixed. And then I'll have a good 21-pin decoder that I can use in another engine with a decoder buddy. It's done. So then I get a text message, and Jim heard the story, but not the whole story. I got a text message from the post office saying that we have your package and it's on its way. Because every time somebody ships something to me through the post office, I get text messages when they receive the package, the post office receives the package, and then as it moves along, I get text messages along the stops. I get them for around $98 US right now. That's what I get. That's what I pay for. $98. That's not too bad. It's under $100. And the guy I have is in New Jersey, and I get him in 2 or 3 days. Hey, Ronald, welcome. How you doing? Welcome. So I get a text message from the post office saying I got a package coming. Now, it is from the same exact city and state and zip code that I had another package coming from. And that was my resistor wheels. So I didn't order anything from him. And I said, well, maybe he's sending me something extra. I don't know. And so I called him and I said, hey, did you send me another package? And I gave him the tracking number. No, he said, I didn't send out any other package. So I looked up the tracking number, and it was created in May of 2026. Okay, so we're in August now, right? So it made its way, and I keep getting text messages as it's going along, and I'm thinking I got a package coming. So it makes it into New Jersey, and then it comes to my post office, and then it says it's out for delivery in the morning at 9 o'clock in the morning. It said out for delivery. I get an email notification that it's out for delivery. I get a text message it's out for delivery, and my app says it's out for delivery. Now, I get deliveries here between 1 o'clock and 2:30 in the afternoon on a regular basis from the post office. That's when he gets here, because he takes his lunch break on the other side of my area, sits there and relaxes for a while he's eating his lunch. Then he does the streets here, and it takes him till about 2 o'clock. Sometimes he's here earlier, depends on what's going on. So never had anything earlier than lunchtime. Now on Saturday, sometimes they come right around lunchtime. Depends. So I get an email at 10:44 a.m. in the morning that the package was delivered. And I'm going, okay, they came early. But I have a device on my mailbox that alerts me when the mailbox is open. So if that mailbox gets opened, I get a notification on my phone. It says mailbox is open. It's part of the Ring system. They have a mailbox sensor device. So I put that on my mailbox, so that way I would know when mail came, right? So I go out there. Hey, Nathan Delaney, welcome. How you doing? So I go out to the mailbox, no package. I come in the house, I call the post office. I say, hey, I just got notification that a package was delivered. I went out to the mailbox, there was no package out there. I gave the person the tracking number. They said, well, maybe the driver mistakenly scanned the package as being delivered. It's still on his truck. Wait for the truck to come and talk to him. Okay. So I went out there. I said, hey, I'm expecting this package today. And he says, I don't have no package with that tracking number on my truck. I said, okay. So I called back the post office. They didn't answer the phone this time because it's, there's only so many people in the office. So I drove down to the post office at 4:30. They closed the window at 5 o'clock. So I got there at 4:30. Walk in there, explaining to the girl. A guy comes out from the back. He says, oh, what's the problem? I said, I got a package. It said it was delivered. I never got it. Why is it saying delivered? He said, okay, I'm going to go out and retrieve the package and I'll bring it back. and then I'll call you. So he had my phone number. So I go about my business, go out and get dinner, go home, eat, play with the dog, get on, watch somebody's stream. I forget what night it was. No phone call from the guy. So now it's too late to call the post office or even go down there. So the next day, I drove down to the post office. I said, I want to speak to the postmaster. So I get into the postmaster's office, and I'm explaining to him what's going on. And I say, why did someone take a package with my address and deliver it to the other side of town? And then 2, 3 other people from the post office, managers, came in and they started investigating the package. Comes to find out that the post office reused a tracking number that the guy that I get stuff from was going to send me something, but canceled it. They reused that number. The address on the package wasn't to my address, but my contact information was on that tracking number. So that's what happened. It was addressed to the different person, but I was on that tracking number, my phone number. I was getting all the text messages of where it was located all the way in and being delivered in. And that side of the town gets delivered early in the morning. So I said, yeah, see, John, that's what they do. And the manager told me that this is getting to be a serious problem in the post office now, because it's happening more often than not. A matter of fact, I get an email every morning, informed delivery. Yeah, it was not my package, Andy. No, not my package. But I had my phone number was on the tracking number for that package because it was originally. Okay, so they didn't clear it out. So when they cancel a tracking number, they're just canceling your transaction. That's it. They reuse the number for something else. No, no, no. Not even from years ago. No. You can go back in history and go back and look for many years of packages that were delivered and stuff like that. They don't reuse delivered numbers, only canceled numbers, from what I understand. And so I get an informed email delivery, and it tells me here's the letters that I'm going to be getting for today, and here's the packages, where they are, if they're out for delivery or whatever. That's an informed delivery from the post office. And there's a tracking number on that says awaiting sender. And that means that the post office hasn't received the package yet, but they have the tracking number. So I looked that tracking number up, and that is another one that's canceled. And that was canceled by Miller Engineering. And that one was going to me. So the post office is going to use that tracking number again, and I'm going to start getting text messages of wherever it's going. So I'll know it's getting to the place before the customer who's getting the packages know. Yeah, see, I don't know about that, but I've looked up records a couple years back and tracking things. And I needed to do that when I was playing around with my spreadsheet, trying to get all my records accurate and stuff like that. So have all the tracking numbers. But now what they do is they only allow you to go back a year. And if you want to go back further, you have to become some kind of member of something. You have to pay for it to be able to go back longer than a year now on the post office. So somebody figured out how to make money, I guess. So I'm not that interested in knowing the dates of the transactions of some of those packages that I received that I have in my spreadsheet. I know I received the item, and that's all I need to know. I think the item showed up 2 days later. Yeah. That almost sounds ridiculous. Well, it is ridiculous, actually. So it's just funny how they reused a tracking number, and I thought I was getting another package. And it was funny. It was coming from the exact same. I don't know if he lives in a city or if it's a town, but it's the exact same town, state, and zip code that I was getting. I got stuff from him a lot of times, and it always starts out in Medellin, Illinois. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the town right or whatever. Who's leaving? Okay, John. Thanks for stopping in and staying with us for a while. Have a great night. Catch you later. Take care. So, anyway, that's my mini rant of the post office, and it was good to find out what the real reason was. And now I know that's a problem, and I'll keep an eye out on that tracking number that's coming from Miller Engineering and see what happens there. Yeah, so my countdown clock on the beginning of the screen. I'm trying to look for a better one, and I got to keep looking. I haven't had time to play around with it, but I'm getting tired of that one. The other one was causing my streams to have some kind of violation type of warning message, and I cleared that all out of those and got rid of that. So yeah, that's right, Russ. It's going to get worse. It can't. What can you do with it? You can't do anything with them. Yeah, you can't hate them. You can't love them, right? So it's crazy stuff. Yeah. Well, you guys heard about my package. It came from Tony's Trains Exchange. They're up in Massachusetts, I believe. And it went from Massachusetts down to New Hampshire, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey. Then it went to Miami. Then it came to South Carolina. Then it came into New Jersey again. And then it came to me. So the package went all the way from Massachusetts to Miami, then back here again. It's ridiculous how sometimes. I don't think it really went that distance. I just think somebody was scanning the wrong thing. This is like Andy's package. It probably didn't go back and forth. It was probably this misscan. Yeah, so everybody heard about Dolly Parton dying, right? She was 80. And then this other guy, he was 80. He died today too. Some actor I never heard of him, but two people in a row. You can't. Anyway, yeah, me too, James. Jim, I get a lot of junk mail. It keeps my shredding machine working. So, hydrogen peroxide. Well, that isn't the code for hydrogen peroxide, isn't it? It isn't. That's not what it is. Yeah, Tim Curry from Rocky Horror. Yeah, that's the guy. He played in a lot of other movies too. I think. But they're trying to save labor costs. Oh yeah, that's true, Russ. Amazon is notorious for that. That's nice, Nathan. You gonna go see Bob? He's out in Pittsburgh area. Well, there's plenty of people that could work. Take all the people that's on welfare and make them work instead of collecting welfare. That's what they ought to do. Not illegals, because they can't read or speak English, and they're out driving around. They can't read nothing. I told you the Amazon guy came out on the street, and I was down there, and I asked him if he had a package for my address, because he was supposed to, and he did, but he didn't even know what I was talking about. He didn't understand the word I was saying, and he didn't understand. I couldn't even communicate with the guy. I wrote down 618 in my street name. He couldn't read it. So how is he going to know how to deliver a package to my address? No wonder they're coming out late. Okay. Before Amazon had good drivers, and they were here before noontime. Now they're here anytime after, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the evening. It's ridiculous because they don't know where they're going. They can't read and they can't speak English. It's ridiculous. Got a lot of notifications. Yeah, I don't like to do it too much either, but sometimes you have to say something. They let the doors open and everybody came in, and then it got worse. So try to fix it. Yeah, I know, Russ. Like before Amazon would come and they would drop it up at the door, I would go to the door to get the package, and then I would say, "Hey, thanks a lot. Have a good day. Drive safe." The guy or girl would turn around and say, "Thank you." Blah blah blah. I say that now. They don't even understand what I'm saying. They just keep going. They don't even turn around. They don't even hear. Yeah, that's what I say, Jim. Jim, send them back. They'll never learn it, and they never want to. That's the problem. So, oh, so I have two orders coming from our good buddies across the ocean in China. I ordered this stuff. It's a spray bottle, and it's supposed to kill weeds. So I'm going to try it. It was only I got three bottles, good sized bottles, for $29. So I can't beat the price. So if it works, it works. It doesn't, $29, no big deal. And then the other thing I saw was this air purifier, and you push the button, and it sucks up all the dog hair. It was pretty amazing to see the video. So I said, okay, and that was only I got it for $39 for one unit, and it comes with an extra filter, so you have another filter. And if it works, then I can order filters from them and have them on hand. But if that works, just put it in one room, push it, let it suck up all the dog hair. Go to the next room, push it, suck up all the dog hair. Just move it around and boom. So we'll see how that works. So the one place I ordered from, and they send me an email saying your subscription is set up. And I go, I didn't sign up for no damn subscription. So I emailed them back and said, hey, I did not sign up for no subscription. This is just a one-time order. Please cancel the subscription, and I only want my order. So I go, okay. So today I got an email back from them, which was cool. And they said, here, click manage subscriptions. I clicked on that. And then there was a button to cancel subscription. And then I got an email confirmation from them saying your subscription is canceled. So that was good. So that worked out pretty well. So when you order something, make sure that you uncheck the subscription button, because that's what they're sneaking in now. They're putting in a subscription button, and it's automatically checked. And if you just go ahead and say order now, the subscription automatically gets generated for your account and your credit card you use to pay for the order. So, yeah, it should be, but it's not. That's that's how they catch. That's how a lot of people get subscriptions and don't even realize it. And they're sending you shit every month. No, I don't want stuff every month. Now, if this stuff works, I'll just order it again. I'm not going to order it every month. I don't know how much one bottle will go. That's what I got, three bottles, because it was cheaper to buy three bottles than two bottles or one bottle. So I said I'll get three bottles, and so I'll have three of these bottles. Now, my property is a little less than an acre, and I have a lot of weeds. I got fence around 3 of the sections of my property. The front yard has no fence in front of it. It's all open to the street. And the curb has weeds coming up from the street, and they're getting higher and higher, and I use the weed whackers, but they grow back. So it's going to be nice to be able to spray it, and if it kills it like it showed on the thing, then that'll take care of it. Then I'll order it again and again and again, and then I'll keep up with the stuff. Because weeds, you kill some weeds and they'll come back. Like I burned a bunch of weeds, those didn't come back, but new ones are coming. So there's always going to be something there. So, and the spray will work if it's a little breezy out. The butane torch, when I'm burning things, the wind, even if it's a slight breeze, it blows out the torch. And I got to keep on lighting it over and over again. I accidentally signed up for Amazon Prime once. They were prompted in stopping my subscription and refund of my money. Great customer service. Yep. Yeah. And if you go about it the right way, you can do that. So we'll have to wait and see. But boy. Oh, good. Thanks, Dwight. And Amazon Prime is great. Yeah, I have Amazon Prime also. I'm a Prime user, and that's why you get everything shipped for free. If you didn't have Prime, you wouldn't get free shipping from Amazon. So that's why I have Prime. So it works out. Because if you don't have to pay shipping, and Amazon has a lot of things. So I get a lot of things from that. Oh, and speaking of that cabinet thing and organizing things, there was one thing I was looking for a long time and I couldn't find it. And that's this stuff. I don't know if you guys ever use this. It's black and you can peel it. And this is what I use when I put in windows in the building to hold the windows in place. Instead of gluing the windows in place, this holds the film of the window material in place. And this is good to hold up lights inside the building if you want to have them on the ceiling or something like that. This stuff really works great. That's this UHC TAC Pro Power material. And I think I got this on Amazon one time. And I thought I was out of it. But I only had a little ball of it left. And I go, oh, where's the rest of this stuff? I know I had some. So going through all my boxes in that closet behind me there to get all the small things out to put in those drawers, then I found this. So that was good. So now I have it. So I'll put this somewhere where it's visible. My great aunt is in New York. God help her, James. New York had a communist governor, and they got New York City has a communist mayor. What a combination. But I heard that the the governor election is coming up in New York, and they got this one guy who's ahead now. He's a Republican, and it might be the first time in a very long time that a Republican governor will be in New York State. So we got our fingers crossed. Yeah, I used to like to go into the city. There's a couple of stores that I like to go there. I like to go to Train World. They're in Brooklyn. When I go into the city, I always go over to there. They have a nice showroom and stuff. And I like to go to B&H Photo, which is in Manhattan on 34th Street. So I go down to B&H Photo, and that's a big place too. That has sometimes there's a line to get into the store. There's a lot of they have multiple levels, and they have everything at B&H Photo: computer stuff, cameras, all kinds of things. And those are the two stores I like to go to, plus places to eat, stuff like that. But ever since the idiot got in there in the mayor, I won't go in the city. No, won't go in there. I saw a guy doing a video. Him and his wife were driving through the tunnel, going into Manhattan, the Lincoln Tunnel. And I said, that would be a cool thing to do a video while you're going through the tunnel. But he was incorrect in a lot of things he was saying about the tunnel. He really didn't know. And like he says, we didn't go past the midpoint yet. And they did, because there's a sign on a wall that says New Jersey, New York, and there's a line there. And it tells you when you cross over from New Jersey into New York. When you're in the tunnel. So my uncle worked on the Holland Tunnel. He was on the construction crew that worked in the tunnel, and he helped put up that tunnel, and that was the Holland Tunnel. He didn't do anything on the Lincoln Tunnel, but the Holland Tunnel. He was into demolition work. He had the big heavy equipment that would tear down buildings and stuff like that. So that was his job. So he knew construction, so he was on that crew. That was before he went into the service. He was in World War II. So what's John B saying? Well, I visited Heath once, but I don't know Heath's schedule. If I contact him, say I'm going to the city, then I would go visit him. He lives in Manhattan also. There's one time I went in there, and I was, when I was at, went to a meet and greet. He wasn't going. Or he went there with somebody else and he didn't have room in his, no, he didn't go. And he had a train coming from somebody else, and they brought it down to the meet and greet, and they gave me the train in a big box, and I put it in my car, and then I drove it into the city one night, because I was working in that area in Bergen County. I was working at that time, and I drove it into the city and parked right on the street, right outside of his house, and walked up and went into his apartment. So yeah, I was there once, but I don't know if he's there all the time, and he's always going to people's layouts and doing operations things and stuff like that. So he's always around, doing things. Can't just drop in on somebody in New York City. Make sure you call ahead and ask about it. Yeah, 4.5 miles away. Yeah, I'm about 7 miles from a hobby store. It's in Pennsylvania, though. There's nothing. The only place I have is Hobby Lobby, and that's where I get my paints. But that nothing else I get there. Might get my Mod Podge and stuff like that from Hobby Lobby and paints. They're supposed to have some spring wire, music wire type things at Hobby Lobby, but I never found it. So Heath works at home. Yeah, he works at home, but he's all over the place though. When I worked from home, I was at home. So I think I'll get that print going in a little bit here. And hopefully that one comes out. Then I'll make 3 others and replace them resin printed boxes for those box trucks. They'll look a lot better. I never put any kind of decals on it. Maybe I'll come up with some road name or something for it. See, that's waste management's garbage facility up there. That's where that building is. So, but it's all lit up now. And when I get all the buildings lit up, I'll do a video showing all the lighted buildings up there. Can't see them on this camera that well. Maybe if I zoom in right to it, maybe it'll show up. I don't know. I have to play around with the cameras a little bit more. New comments. What holiday is it now? Oh, you were saying you were afraid so. Yeah, Ronald. He lives in the UK. That's right. I did a tour of Europe many years ago. I was working. I had to go to Amsterdam because that's the company I worked at. The headquarters was in Amsterdam, so flew over to Amsterdam. Then my wife at the time came with me, and then we went to Denmark, and then we took a train. Came back to Amsterdam. We took a train from Amsterdam to Paris, France, and went through Germany. Stopped there. Uh, been to Spain. The only place I haven't been in Europe is Italy, and that's my heritage. So, yeah, it's 2 years for me, James. I could have retired at 65 because I was born in 55. I still was able to retire at 65. But the difference in money from when I retired and then 65 was unbelievable. So I stayed because my job was not physical or anything. So it was easy. So sit at a desk all day long and do computer stuff. Yeah, that's right, John. Once you retire, you have to pay for your own insurance, which I think is wrong. You get Medicare for free as a retiree, but then you have to have the B plan or the C plan or the XYZ plan. Who the hell knows or something to get real coverage. Yeah, so it's out in Rome, it's in London. Yeah. What happened to it, Dwight? Why doesn't it work? I've had mine for over a year now, and it works fine. I just used it on that little track mobile engine, clean the wheels nice on that little guy. Yeah, through the VA. Very nice, Russ. 64 on Chuck. Well, that's good. Yeah, I could have went at 64 too, but work was just too easy. There you go, John. That's the way to do it. Yeah, you're married, you have a wife, you can, and you're both the same age, you retire at the same time. You only need one coverage, you know. You don't both need all that. Yeah, that's good, John. Yeah. So what's this notification? Yeah, YouTube. Oh, one thing I wanted to tell you guys. I don't know if anybody else is getting this, but on my videos, I am now getting notifications of how many people liked my video. I'd never seen that before. I don't know if they just started doing that, but I don't know if anybody else got it. But like, if somebody likes my video, it says one person liked your video. That's a notification I get. Just like when somebody comments on a video, I get a notification saying that Jim Tedesco commented on your video. So then I go into YouTube Studio and comment back and all that. That's how I know how to comment back. Right? But now it says, oh yeah, okay, good. So they must have just started doing the likes. But I never seen that before until this last couple of videos I put up, and the number of likes I was getting, 8 likes, 10 likes, 12 likes, whatever. Now I haven't noticed it. Yeah, next time I put out a video, see if you get notification of likes. And I didn't change no settings anywhere. So YouTube might have said, okay, let's start notifying people of their likes. I don't know. I didn't hear nothing. I watched this creator. He does a lot about how to promote your channel and this and that and other things. And he tells you all the things that are coming out and this and that. And not one of them said anything about like notifications yet. So it must be something new. Yeah, that's right, John. When I watch a video, I like and I comment, no matter whose it is, what it is. Yeah, Jim never gets notifications at all. So it's hard for him to even know about a live stream coming because he don't get no notifications. There was one guy I was watching and I wasn't getting his notifications, and I went back and I checked. And when I subscribed to him, I didn't hit the all on his channel. You know, you have to hit the bell, and then there's 4 different things. And the default one is not to get any notifications or whatever it is. So you have to click all, and then you'll get notification. So if you go back on everybody's channel and you click on the little bell, and then you see if you have all set, you should be getting notifications. If you're not, then there's something else wrong. But I don't know if you have to unsubscribe and subscribe again, and then click the all to get it. You know, you're not getting them. That'd be a pain in the neck to unsubscribe to how many ever people you're subscribed to. But I'm always constantly getting alerts about people's videos. It even comes up on my computer here. Like right now, I got someone liked my reply. That was on one that I put on the white, like the reply that I put to him. And that popped up on my computer screen here. They shortened week to WK and month to M. Who shortened it? YouTube? Andy? Who shortened what to week, WK, and M to month? I have over 15,000 unwatched videos. YouTube. Where? Where'd they do that? In studio? Yeah, you have to check for the VA places. In your watch later box, under every video. I'll have to look at that after the show. I didn't notice that. I didn't notice that they shortened week to WK and month to M. Well, see, you know, they're trying to make it fit on the phones, right? You only can use, you should only use 40 characters for your video title. Because if you use more than 40 characters for your YouTube title, it won't fit on your phone screen. So, and it gets chopped off. You don't know what the video is about. So, I think I have 5,000 plus in my liked videos box. At least you're not in Seattle either, right? That's another shithole up there. Portland and Seattle. Okay, James, thanks for stopping in. Have a good one. We'll catch you later. Have a good weekend. Don't forget to watch Jim Tedesco tomorrow at 6 o'clock, too, before I forget. It's always a fun show to watch. Yeah, I was going to call tonight anyway. It's 9:41. All right, people. Thank you very much for stopping in and being with me tonight. I appreciate everybody. Have a good night. Catch you all later. Enjoy the rest of your week. Don't forget, Jim Tedesco at 6 p.m. tomorrow. Good night, Andy. Thanks a lot, Chuck. John Nittenberg, thank you. Thanks, Russ. Appreciate it. Dwight, catch you later. Andy, take care. Russ, good night. Row Pro Models 3D. Good night. Don Benicki, good night. Jim, if you're not sleeping, good night. I don't, wrong channel. That's tomorrow. Chuck, have a good one. Thanks. Take care. Good night, Jim. Catch you later. Get that software installed. Ronald, take care. Good night.